Welcome back to Balance Unfiltered. In our episode today, we're addressing mindfulness. Yay! Specifically, the notion that mindfulness means sitting perfectly still with your eyes closed or sitting in a quiet room with the lights off and counting your breath. And while sometimes this may be true, it is important to acknowledge that this is a blanket expectation that not everyone can conform to. And if that version of mindfulness works for you, that's great. I'm not knocking it at all. In fact, it's one of the ways that I practice mindfulness. But for many of us, especially trauma survivors and neurodivergent people, or anyone with a busy brain, stillness can feel unsafe, frustrating, or just downright impossible. And that's okay. I'm here to remind you that's okay. So we ask ourselves, what is mindfulness? How can we make it accessible? And how can we practice it without being expected to be perfectly still? So today we're going to explore how movement, creativity, and everyday actions can all become mindfulness practices. And by the end of our time together, you'll have a simple at-home tool to try, plus some journal prompts to deepen your reflection. So, if you're joining from a cozy corner, curled up with a cup of tea, or listening while doing your day to day routines, I invite you to take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Just come as you are. I want to preface this episode by saying that even as a wellness practitioner, I believe that mindfulness should fit your life and not the other way around, and not you fitting your practice into someone else's belief of what mindfulness is. When most people hear the word mindfulness, they picture someone cross-legged, perfectly serene. But mindfulness is really just paying attention on purpose to the present moment with kindness, being intentionally present at the present moment. That's it. And as simple as it sounds, there's no rule that says you have to be motionless to pay attention. In fact, for a nervous system shaped by trauma or conditions like ADHD or autism, stillness can sometimes heighten stress. Your body may crave movement, sensory input, or flexibility to feel safe enough to notice what's happening right now in the moment. For my husband, it's him vigorously shaking his knee in order to help him focus intently. For me, it's giving eye contact, nodding my head, and repeating what you said in my mind in order to remember specific talking points. But I digress. If you're if you've ever thought, I can't meditate, my mind is too busy, let me reiterate here that that is not unusual. You're not the only one in the world of billions of people who have experienced mindfulness in that way. Your way is not the broken way. Your way of being mindful might simply look different, and that difference is completely valid. Let's look at some ways to practice mindfulness through movement. So perhaps you take out a pen and paper here so that you can take a few notes. Remember to take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Okay, so number one, maybe we can practice walking meditation. So while walking, you can walk slowly, matching your breath to your steps, or keep a natural pace while noticing how your feet meet the ground and how the air feels on your skin. Another form of movement meditation would be a gentle trauma-informed yoga practice. So this is my personal favorite, so excuse my biases. But this is when we use choice-based language to simply practice adaptable postures. And the goal here is to notice your breath and sensations during the practice. The goal is not to strike the perfect pose. Another way we can practice movement in mindfulness is mindful stretching or shaking. I've had a couple of clients who've enjoyed this one. A few minutes of slow stretching or even gentle shaking of arms and legs. And this helps to release tension and brings awareness to muscles and joints. Creative movement or dance is another option. It's when you put on a song that you love and you sway, you move or dance freely to it. You let the rhythm guide you while observing how your body responds. Everyday routine mindfulness could look like chores, so those count. Washing dishes, folding laundry, watering the plants. These all can be considered mindfulness practices when you bring full attention to these sensory details. Keep in mind that each of these practices may align with your body's needs for agency and choice. So you can start with just 2 or 3 minutes and build from there. But now I'd like to guide you through a short movement friendly grounding exercise called the moving scan. So if you're listening somewhere safe and comfortable, I invite you to try this with me. If not, feel free to just listen and return to this part later when you have the space. Be sure to download and save the episode here so that you can easily access it whenever you need to. And let's begin standing or walking slowly. And look around and name 5 things that you see. Notice 4 things you feel. This could be your feet on the floor, the fabric on your skin, or even the air on your face. Listen for 3 things you can hear. Now, identify 2 things you can smell. And take 1 slow, full breath here, noticing any subtle taste as you exhale. And that's it. This is 3 to 5 minutes of sensory mindfulness that works whether you're in your living room, a hallway, at your desk, or an outdoor space. So I invite you to try this at any time of day, whenever it feels most comfortable for you. So to tie all of this with a subtle green bow, mindfulness. Whether you sway, stretch, walk, or breathe, that means something. As long as you're intentional about being present in the moment. While you're practicing, notice with curiosity and compassion, not judgment. And maybe this week you try walking meditation on your lunch break or dance in your kitchen for a song or two. And whatever your movement meditation is, see how your body responds and celebrate what feels supportive. With that being said, here are some journal prompts that you can reflect on at your own time to deepen your exploration. You can jot these down or even record your thoughts on a voice note. So, number 1, when have I felt most present and aware? Was I moving or being still? Number 2, what internal or external sensations tell me I need movement instead of stillness? Number 3, how can I create a mindful movement within a daily activity I already do? Thank you for joining me for Mindfulness Beyond Meditation. And remember, stillness is optional, presence is what matters. If you're craving an in-person or virtual practice that centers you and your needs, I invite you to book a private one-on-one session with me. And as always, thank you for being here and for sharing this moment with me. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need it and leave a review because it helps more people find this community. I invite you to join Balance and Birch Wellness Center online. You can find more information at www.balanceandbirch.com. And until next time, Be well and go in peace.